Brand new video. Sorry I've been away, I've been busy on the farm. But I wanted to talk today about the tax issue that everybody's talking about with the UEP trust properties. And maybe I can shed some light on the reality of what's really going on. I can start out by saying it's not about back taxes. Not at all. If you remember or you've researched at all, back in 2005, the state of Utah put Hilldale and Colorado City trust property into receivership. So, what's receivership? If you're the quarterback and you chuck the ball to the running back has the ball, he owns the ball. He's received it. So he owns that ball while he has it. So the state of Utah owns trust properties. Get that straight. They are the principal. They are the landlord, and they've converted it into an HOA, Homeowners Association. But it's not really a legal HOA. It doesn't meet any of the legal definitions of an HOA, or does it even act like an HOA? It's part of a patchwork quilt legal move, which is completely unlawful. It's theft by deception. When the state took it into receivership in 2005, who collects taxes? The assessors of Utah. It's a click on a computer screen, and whoop, the taxes are zero. The land, it's valued at $110 million. Plus, that's just a number. So you take a $110 million piece of property, and you're the state who collects taxes. You can do whatever you want. You zero them out. And I'll tell you this right now, occupancy agreements, people that sign those and take those homes, they're not paying back taxes. No. That's not part of the 4 steps, the 4 agreements. You got to listen carefully. They are to pay the taxes from then on, from the moment they sign that agreement to be an occupant. So right away, there's your first fraud. Because if you're a motel visitor and you're paying $100 a month to stay in the room, the taxes have to be included on the in the $100. You cannot make an occupant legally. You cannot make an occupant pay taxes. That's ridiculous. It's in the transaction when you rent the room. Okay? So there's the first major unlawful move that the states are doing in cooperation, Arizona and Utah. 100% subterfuge, confusing it, spinning, and they're hoping that people don't figure this out, because when they do, they're going to realize, oh my God, this is theft by deception. Yes, it does meet those legal parameters. Coercion to falsely lead a person. Okay, you got an occupancy agreement. You own it. You improve it. You own it. You have it. For the mere price of $100 a month. None of the $100 is going towards the taxes. The taxes were paid in 2005. Okay? 0 taxes. No back taxes. They didn't even lien it. and use like a legal tax lien certificate and a legal procedure to proclaim legally through jurisdiction and action to say, okay, you're in default. We are now going to take your asset. Because that's what they did. It was the framework that allowed them to do that. It's already done in 2005. From the state side, you have to get people back in there who are willing to pay the taxes, who are willing to assume responsibility for the properties, to upcare the properties. But the way it really is that you're moving into a motel room that you'll never own. You will never have a title to these homes, most of these homes, unless you buy them, purchase them, and get a title. So at the end of your occupancy agreement, after agreeing to be the claimant without tenancy rights, you waive them when you become an occupant. You're willing to occupy and improve and pay taxes without any rights to lease or own. Understand this. Nobody in their right mind would go for this. This is why the FLDS are walking away. There's no win for them. These homes are paid for. You've got to put that into perspective. Nowhere in the United States is there a community where the homes are paid for. Okay? Yeah, a lot of them are unfinished, built after work, etc., etc. But they're paid for because the original idea was to have no debt. An inheritance, place of peace and rest, creativity, and a sanctity, a place of safety for family. That's the original idea. So the youth wouldn't be in debt. They would have housing, the basic thing, and they wouldn't have to be job slaves, wage slaves, running the gerbil wheel of inevitability while they drop dead. Because it's impossible. At the end, you just die. You don't ever own anything. In the Colorado City Hilldale model, you actually owned something. It was yours, and it was your inheritance. And so the crime here is the systematic destruction of that dream, that ideal that the forefounders, the fathers and mothers and grandmothers grandfathers, for their children in love, a legacy of love. Pass them on so they wouldn't have the burden of debt, so they wouldn't know that story, so they could evolve in higher ways without the stress of trying to make it through the week, through the month. So do a little bit of research